Good evening. I'm TW Dawson, CCO and co-founder of Panda. I'd like to take this time to share with you this presentation tonight. Most of you guys have seen the presentation already. This is, I'm gonna do some training afterwards and some questions, answer some questions for you. So I'm just gonna run through the presentation. Now, just to know, is there anybody on this call that hasn't seen the presentation? If you just raise your hand or just put it in the chat, and then I'll have an idea so I'll know how fast to move while I'm doing the presentation. That's always good to know whether or not there's new people up here. If it's some of the same people are up here, then hey, then we can just move through it, go into some details, and then from there, you know, okay, I see somebody says this first time, okay. All right, so then I'll slow it down a little bit and I'll get right into it. To get started, I'll just say this right here. This project is a project that has occurred through a lot of good businessmen, great businessmen coming together, and through their experiences in the crypto world, through their experiences in business world, through their experiences in different other industries, we've came together and we put together something from our failures and from our successes. We've seen a lot in both arenas, but at the same time, this project is put together based on those things. And I don't want to go too far into that, but I want to do is share my screen and go right into what one of my favorite pages of this whole presentation is, and is this right here. When I saw this, it made so much sense to me. It's a real simple thing. Use it, share it, own it. Simple as that. And when you look at that picture, you see something right there. You see something that can be marketed. You see something that can go viral. You see something that can go mainstream. You see something that can be picked up and adapted. And when you see what the project actually is, then it makes sense why everybody is so excited, why we've grown so much in the last 30 days, less than 30 days. And we're gonna get into it, okay? So imagine if you had a messaging app, like a WhatsApp or a Telegram, that paid you every day for using it and sharing it. Now imagine if those daily rewards represented your ownership in the success of the company. Very important. Now, imagine if those rewards represented your ownership in the success of the company. Now, that's the thing. Some people are on this call for different reasons, and we'll find out what those reasons are once we go into the training. Some people are here because it's something new. Some people are here because they're connected to other organizations that are looking to create financial freedom. Some people are in here just trying to find out what's going on. But I'll tell you, whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever reason that you're here for, this word right here, ownership, is probably the most important word that I'm going to mention tonight. The rewards that we're giving in this company represent ownership, something that you could be a part of. Now, the first step to financial freedom is ownership. And if these companies that we talked about, Facebook and Dropbox and Zoom, if these companies would have gave any type of percentage of the company, especially a Zoom or a Facebook or a Dropbox, when these companies were sold or evaluated, just imagine where you would be. We often talk about Microsoft. Microsoft made so many millionaires from their stocks, billionaires even from their stocks, and it's all about ownership. And if we don't have ownership in anything, we can't expect to do anything as far as financial freedom. It's very difficult to have financial freedom without some type of ownership. Now, a messages app that has a security feature. More and more people are becoming concerned about who else is listening when they're using their apps. We all know what's going on. We've listened to Facebook, how their whistleblowers telling us about all the data that they're using and what they're doing with it and how they're selling it and how we're basically just a product. And how many times have you talked on your app or talked to a person, even near your phone, and the next thing you know, you got an ad coming in from, you're talking about shoes, and the next thing you know, shoes apps is coming up, or shoes advertisements are coming up on your phone or your computer. And bottom line is, we're the product. And at Panda, we decided to just say, no more of that. This shouldn't have happened in the first place. They're crossing so many lines and so many different ways that we just got used to it. And we're conditioned to just believe that it's okay. What we're doing right now is we're saying no more. We're drawing a line. We're no longer allowing these companies to just do this. We're taking it upon ourselves to say, this is the right way we're going to do business. Okay. So when we're talking about Punk Panda, it's the world's first secure messenger app that not only is secure, but it also pays you to use it and share it. This model is going to be different. And what I mean by different is that there comes a time, there comes sometimes in a lifetime that there's a model that comes through, whether it's a business, whether it's an industry, and it will change things the way we know it today. I believe that this company has created this model. We're the first secure, we're standing up, we're changing that right there. And then I said, not only that, we're a messenger app that actually pays you to use it and share it. And those shares represent your ownership in the company. This is important. A military-grade encryption protocol protects your privacy and your data. The more you use it, the more you share it, the more company tokens you'll earn. All right, how do you earn the tokens? There's a smart contract that mints new tokens every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, there's a block of tokens that come out. We'll get into the actual number of how many of those tokens are. You use the tokens, you use the app, you get tokens. You share the app, you get tokens. You hold the app in the farm or in the app. You hold the tokens in the farm or in the app, you earn tokens as well. Use it, share it, you own it. It's really that simple. It's not much more to it. Now, the Punk Panda tokens. So these are the tokens that we're talking about. There's 275 million Punk Panda tokens in max supply. The tokens listed as PPM, it starts at 10 cents. Now this is 10 cents in the pre-sale. Right now we're a little over 40 cents right now. And we'll go to $1 during that pre-sale. We'll talk a little bit about the pre-sale as we move on. We earn Punk Panda tokens from your phone via proof of stake, proof of Panda Pals. It's always hard for me to say that. Supply schedules to be minted over 15 years. And like Bitcoin, they'll have a halving schedule, all right? And here are the token allocations. Again, 275 million total, pre-mined, 65 million are pre-mined. Where does those tokens go? 25 million going to an incubator for token pre-sales, marketing, airdrops, promotions, Panda Pal sharing rewards, liquidity pools. Founders and teams they get the rest of that 65 million. And then of course the 210 million will be minted or mined over the next 15 years. And these are the ones that are gonna be airdropped every 30 minutes. All right, so the 4 phases of mining, all right? The first year is 2,100 tokens that's coming down every 30 minutes, right? 50% of them, which is 1,050, are going to the Punk Panda Pals, Punk Panda Pals, right? So that's anytime you share it, anytime you use it, anytime you increase your circle, those are the tokens that are being handed out during that process, right? 23% goes to the people who are who are holding the tokens in the app. And then another 12% are for those who are holding tokens in the Punk Panda farm, which is where the pre-sale is going on right now. And then there's another 15% for development. That's for future considerations, things as far as expenses that the company may have. The second year, we're gonna do, like I said, a halving. We're gonna cut that supply in half, right? And then but then not only we cut it in half, but then we drop the minutes. So now it's gonna be every 20 minutes. So we're getting less tokens, but we're getting them more often, right? And these are the splits on those tokens. Okay, back up. These are the splits on those tokens. So 4 years, again, we're cutting it in half, and then it's gonna drop from every 20 minutes to 15 minutes, so on and so forth. And then on the 8th year and on, it will be 263 tokens dropped into your account, into those accounts every 10 minutes. And these are the allocations, all right? And let me explain to you the most important part about this. Right now, we're in a beta. Most companies don't even have most crypto companies, I'll say that, don't even have a working model, and they're doing pre-sales, they're raising money, they have all these things. We actually have a working working app. Our app works. It's still in beta, so there's still some things that we need to do to actually improve upon it. But you guys are the ones that are helping us do that. And don't take that lightly, because you guys are going to be the ones that are going to be rewarded the most. We'll take this number right here. We'll take 2,100. 2,100, in the beginning, we started out with about 50,000 people. 2,100 people, 2,100 tokens was split between 50,000 people. So that means that people got more tokens. Okay, now as we move to 100,000, now that same 2,100 is being split amongst 100,000. So then you say, okay, when we go to 1 million, then 1 million people are going to be splitting these tokens together, depending on how many people they X factor, how many people are in the organization, how many times they use it, how much they use it, how many times they share it, so on and so forth, how many tokens are being staked, so on and so forth. So the X factor for each individual will be different, but for the most part, 2,100 tokens will be split every 30 minutes amongst 1 million people when that time comes. So then you say, wow, that's going to drastically decrease the amount of tokens that I'm capable of getting. Yes, but the best part about that is, as the tokens, or as the company grows, the tokens value will increase. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you were on schedule to get 1 token every 30 minutes. All right, say that your X factor produced 1 token every 30 minutes. And let's say once we get to 1 million, now you're only receiving 1/4 of a token every 30 minutes. Well, guess what? Let's just say the token is worth $1. So that means you're getting $1 worth of tokens every 30 minutes with 100,000. And now you're getting 25% of that, which is 25 cents. But if the token goes up in value to $10, $15, so then now it averages out. And so what I mean to say by that is this: the tokens that you're getting today are going to be more valuable tomorrow or in the future, based on how this program is growing. Right? So those who are having the influx of tokens come in, because they're coming in more rapidly, because we're sharing them with less people. But those people that have the majority of the tokens now, those tokens will be worth more as more people come in. So this is very important. So when we get to that point, 1 million registered users, we're trying to get to that point relatively fast. And if we get to that point, we know that there's something called critical mass that would allow our company to grow exponentially after that. And we'll be able to get a valuation of about $50 billion. Now, those who have those tokens that received them in the early time of the project, those tokens will be worth 100, 200, it could be more than that. I'll just say this right here. If you look at WhatsApp stock is worth about $350 right now. So it's not unheard of that a company that has the capabilities of a WhatsApp, Dropbox, and a Zoom to actually have a token that's worth at least a couple $100. So that's just something to think about. All right. So now the Panda token. All right. It is a utility token. This is important. Those who are into cryptocurrency, you know that one of the biggest issues with cryptocurrency becoming a mainstay as far as DeFi or using it as a financial instrument is that it's volatile, right? And volatility comes from most of the tokens not having a utility, not having a use. Our token has a use. We have our own ecosystem for the token. So what happens is this right here. We have something called Panda Pros, Panda Post, Panda Meet, Panda Vault, Panda Storage, and so on and so forth. We'll get into all these in details, all right? So these are our products. These bears represent, pandas represent all the different products that we have right now, all right? Panda app. Obviously, we know about the Panda app. Most of you guys have it downloaded. If not all of you guys have been using it. So we don't have to get too much into that, but it's a peer-to-peer communication encrypted. So that means that if you send a message to somebody, there's no server. Panda does not have a server to intercept that message, meaning that they can't store it, they can't find it, they don't have it. What we have is what's called a private key. It's a technology that allows the message to be encrypted on the user, on the sender's phone, and decrypted on the receiver's phone. No middleman. Only thing we do is provide a portal for that to happen. all right? And then we have cool features like you can hide your message, you can zap it, you can send files up to 20 minutes, video files, low, high quality, so on and so forth. Pandas, stickers and gifts. These things are the things that we have right now that people are using right now. Panda Pros. Now, as we were talking about when we first started the video, we have a unpaid version of everything, but then there's a paid version if you want to upgrade. So if you want to upgrade your Panda Post or your Panda Meet or your Panda Bulk, there'll be a subscription that you can actually use the tokens that you're getting for free to actually do that, all right? So now that's Panda Post, all right? And that's a file transfer system that has cool features. You can encrypt files, service, you can only be opened by a tenant receiver, online tracking, you have radar, you can send terms and conditions upon opening up the files, you can terminate functions even after the content has been sent. There's a lot of different things that you can do with Panda Post. Panda Meet, again, it's like a Zoom feature. Right now we're up to 25 people that you can bring onto that. We're gonna scale it up to 100 to 200. However, the biggest issue with that is the security features. Having an encryption that is so secure, it makes it difficult to scale up sometimes, more expensive, but we're doing that right now and we're looking for that to come out next year. Panda Vault, this will probably come out towards the end of next year. And this is a decentralized storage protocol which adheres to its one owner, one key principle, ensuring only one person has access to your only you have access to your personal data. All files encrypted in transit and at rest, on-demand scalability, inbuilt network redundance. So there's a lot of different functions for this right here. And then these two right here are probably going to be our two biggest. You've heard our CEO, Albert, talked about our online gaming. We have a fantasy sports app that's coming out, and we have an NFT app that's coming out. So we have a lot of things that's happening with the gaming and the Panda Profit. Right now, the pre-sale is going on right now in the Panda Farm. Once the pre-sale is over, this will be our DeFi spot where we'll be able to buy tokens and actually stake them on this right here. So that will become our DeFi farm once the pre-sale is over. In the Panda Play, as I mentioned, we have NFT games. We have one coming out very, very soon called Pass the Panda, which seems like a very, very cool game, kind of like a Duck, Duck, Goose. You pass the panda to someone, and if they hold on to the panda longer than 2 minutes, then you win the prize. So they have to kind of pass it on to somebody else. So that gets everyone on the app or on the game participating, because you don't know when that panda is going to come to you, which allows the app to be used more. And it's a fun game. And I guess there's going to be a prize, tokens or something like that. But we got to know that this industry right here is probably one of the biggest industry and definitely the fastest growing industry between NFT and the gaming industry. Very, very big. This is going to be very profitable for us. And again, what we have coming down the line is going to be important to know that the tokens, the free tokens that are out in the market will be gobbled up by this, because in order to play these games, you have to use Punk Panda tokens, especially the ones we're talking about, we're bringing to market as far as the fantasy sports, right? Case study acquisition strategy. This is just, again, something that we mentioned earlier. WhatsApp sold to Facebook for 19 billion. If, for instance, that they would have gave a percentage of the acquisition cost to the users that helped them out in the beginning, a lot of those people would have been millionaires. And that did not happen, and it won't happen for most companies, but this is something that we have in place for the people that are helping us launch this company and be a part of the beginning stages of it. This right here is called a company called Pi that basically got 25 million users just to get on their app to hit restake once a day. They have no product, they have no services, they have no list date, nothing, but people were up there, and they have over 25 million users in 2 years. So it just shows the potential of something that we have with a real product. We can get up to 25 million users relatively fast based on what we have to offer. All right, freemium model. Dropbox had a real interesting model where they offered a service and it was free. Only 2% of the users actually paid to upgrade that. And because of that, they still were evaluated at close to 20 or $10 billion, right? They didn't require to have a bunch of people subscribing to their service. They only had 2%. And we're taking that model knowing that only a few people are going to actually subscribe to the Panda Post and the Panda Vault and upgrade their services. And we don't need a lot of them to do it. We just need a few people to do it. And that's good enough because we can still get our valuation in the billions because of that. All right, our Panda roadmap, all right? All these things on the roadmap, you can take some time to look at this on your own, but for the most part, we're hitting these goals as far as the time-wise. Right now, the Panda Messenger service, the app, guess what? We're on target with that. We have it, right? The Panda Post, the files, the fourth quarter Panda Pros and Post transfer files, we're gonna have that by the end of the year. Private sale, we'll be done with that probably before the end of the year, if not sooner. NFT games, this is for the first quarter. We might even have it before the year ends, but it'll definitely be the first quarter. The tokens listing, this will probably happen before the end of the year, but we have it for the first quarter just to be safe. DeFi staking, obviously, we'll have that by the end of the year because once the pre-sale is over, which it should be over in the next 3 weeks or so, we'll automatically turn that over to the DeFi staking farm. The video meet, the Panda Meet for the video conferences, yes, the second quarter, this looks real good for that, and the fourth quarter for the Panda Vault. And we have a few other products that, again, that are working inside this NFT games and that we'll probably have done by the end of this year as well. So that's the roadmap. Get started with Punk Panda today. Download the app for free. Earn Punk Panda tokens. Share the app with your friends. Earn more tokens. Hold tokens and watch the value grow as the company grows. Be a part of history. That's pretty much the presentation, guys. It's really that simple. I've never had anything that was this simple. All you have to do is understand it. Understanding it is just knowing that it's in a beta process right now. We have products coming out. We have tokens that are being given out just for sharing it. Why are we giving the tokens out for sharing it? Why? Because you're helping us build a network. We're building a network with the people. No longer are we allowing people to, our companies, we should, as the people, allow companies to build their fortunes off our backs. We've been the product for so long that we're used to it. Today, we're starting something new where we're allowing a company and its people to merge together and do something great. And what that greatness is allowing the people to share in the profits, allowing the people to share in the success of a company that has the potential to go viral and be a mainstay in everyone's homes. So with that being said, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see if I can get, let me see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick. And I got a brother up here that I want to share. Just got to find him. Let's see. Mr. Smith, you there? Yes, I see you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I can.
Yes, unmute yourself. And I want you to just talk about a little bit, nothing in particular, just, I know that we've been working real hard for the last 6 months, and just tell us what you see and how this program looks to you.
Well, Punk Panda. Now here's let me say something. I know what you're about to say. You're asking me to use my Zoom etiquette. The only problem with that is my beautiful face has been compromised tonight because I have a splitting headache and I'm sweating profusely, to say the least. So I don't want to show that. That wouldn't be a good first impression for those who don't know me. So would you please just hear my voice for a moment? I promise I won't take much of your time, but thank you again, Tim, for this opportunity. I'm glad I logged on tonight. It was a little bit of a sacrifice, obviously, because what I just said, but I'll say this: with all that I hear and all that I'm seeing, I want to say thank you again for an opportunity to get to the party before the party is over. That's one of the things that many of us have probably seen at some point in life when it comes to business. Sometimes we just show up too late. And everyone on this Zoom tonight, you were invited by someone. I don't know who that someone was, but I can tell you this with all confidence that whoever invited you loves you because they want the best for you. And all I can say is if you've received love, why don't you give somebody else that same love? Every single person on this phone, I'm rather sure that you have used a text messaging feature from some platform. If it was nothing but your iPhone or your other smart device, your Android device, or if it was Facebook or if it was Instagram, you sent a message today. And unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you got nothing for that. Somebody else is going to the bank because of your messaging. You're sending messages anyway. So why not take advantage of the opportunity to receive a profit for something you're doing anyway? You've received the love of an invitation from somebody. Please don't be selfish. Share the love. Invite someone to the same opportunity because there is a lot of money on the table and somebody's going to get it. The question is, why not you? That's all I have to say, Mr. Dawson.
I appreciate your words. I knew they would be encouraging, and I did not know that you've been compromised, as you put it.
Yes, I have.
Well, thank you either way. All right.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
So with that being said, what I want to do right now is I want to shut down the actual presentation, and I'm going to restart it again. I'm going to restart it again with a few minutes of training, just a couple of thoughts, some ideas that I want to put out there, and just get a vibe of what's going on in the community of Punk Panda. And then from there, I will open it up for questions, all right? So we're gonna stop this. Thank everybody for the presentation, for coming out to the presentation. We're gonna go right into the next part.